Not these guys, not you, not anybody. Seeking redress in the state of Michigan is persecuting me. It's been social suicide. I can't come in your building here without the marshals announcing Visner's in the building. So to pretend that you guys all don't know me and this is just, some Friday afternoon social is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. I try and have fun with the marshals. I'm not a violent man, obviously. 6 years and I'm not broke and I won't break. These guys would love for me to break. That way it'd be over. Can't do it. I need to give my son the answer that he needs. I need to tell my son that in 2010, none of these actions were justified. And here's the result.
And I want you to get to that result, at least to be able to tell your son something. So that's what the court's going to need, Mr. Visner.
So this court can't do anything for me right now. You're going to have a hearing.
Correct.
Where you're going to give Shelly Sweet, Bruce Havens, and Robert Wheeler a chance to explain away how they worked with Bruce Havens to create this document that was to be used as an eviction.
Right. As you said earlier, it's called due process.
Right. Fraud on the federal court is a crime.
Sir, I've heard from you. I want to hear from the other side. Again, that's due process.
So this court can't offer any injunctive relief. And what else can this court not do?
So I'm not going to go through what the court can or cannot do. I can tell you what I've asked you to do, and that is that you want to prosecute and continue your amended motion that was filed at 113. Send it to those parties you believe you have a claim against. Give them 14 days notice to respond. And after you do that, file a certificate with the court saying that you've done that, and then we'll see what happens next.
Should I make it 21 days?
Sir, if you want to make it 21 days, make it 21 days. I thought you would want this done sooner versus later, but 21 is certainly a safer amount of time.
Well, I know it's 21 days to file a civil action against a defendant.
Mm-hmm.
I can't understand why it would be less here. But I will take it on the advice of the court that it is 14 days, and that's what I'll do.
Thank you, sir. I think I understand the situation from your perspective. I thank you for your time and your effort here today. And you're clear what we would like to have you do in the next couple of days, Mr. Visner?
There were some other issues in my filing. I'm clear what this court's discussed so far. Why can't I send mail to the court for my filings? And why don't I have equal access? Are these things that we could address right now? I mean, I know the court said there's nothing.
Tell me about the mail issue. What's the problem with the mail?
I mailed proof of service that I mailed all 96 plus creditors to this court, and it didn't get filed.
Well, sir, I thought, that's why I didn't study very much. I think it's this one. That was, I believe, sent by the mail.
That was filed?
Yes. This is the court file you're looking at, sir. Now,
I couldn't pull that up on Pacer.
It's right there. That's why
So why did you schedule a show cause hearing saying I didn't do this?
Well, let me tell you why. Because what you wrote in here, under penalty of perjury, I, Theodore Visner, J. Visner, submit to this court that I have personally notified the creditor's name below through regular first-class mail that included this court's November 4, 2015 order reopening the bankruptcy of the debtors, Kathy Smith and Theodore Visner, on November 12, 2015. That's what it says. I read it verbatim. Right?
Okay.
This is how I read this, sir. I read this that you said you sent a copy of the order reopening the case, this one, to all the creditors.
That's what the court advised me to do.
No. What I wanted you to do.
All interested parties. Granted, I did miss Bruce Havens and Shelly Sweet. Well, Shelly Sweet was listed as a creditor, so she was also mailed at her last known address.
What I wanted you to do was, I'm now looking at the order dated November 4, 2015. If the bankruptcy case is reopened, the fee is waived, and I'd say the debtor shall serve a copy of this amended motion by first-class mail to all creditors and interested parties within 7 days of this order, and shall file a certificate of service attesting the service. The amended motion was what I referred to in the first part of the order. It's nice that you sent the order reopening the case. I wanted you to send your motion.
I did.
That's not what your certificate said, sir. It really isn't. At least that's not how.
I sent them both. Those envelopes were thick.
Absolutely. That's why when I looked at your most recent plea, I thought those are thick envelopes, and you're right. The postage is much greater than it would be for 1 or 2 sheets of paper.
Yeah, it broke me.
Pardon me?
It broke me.
Well, but sir, I didn't know that until you filed that pleading with all those pictures. I read the paper.
Well, why did this court order me to do anything within 7 days? I don't understand that either.
Because I wanted to keep this thing moving.
Moving?
Moving.
This is a 2010 case.
Right.
I just reopened it, and you're giving me 7 days to spend money I don't have.
Right.
And after I actually got a copy of this court's order, I had 5 days to comply, and the 7th day landed on Veterans Day.
It did.
So
Actually, sir, remember we went back to 14 plus 3, and I said the civil rules of procedure require an extra 3 days? You actually had 10. But you wouldn't know that unless you were a lawyer, perhaps. But you did file the certificate on time, but I didn't read the certificate to do what I wanted you to do. That's why I wanted you to come in here so we could do what we're now doing today, so I understand better what your case is about, and you understand what I need to have you do.
Okay.
Okay.
Did the court understand my need for clarity with regard to court events? I don't like missing court events. I didn't like missing your show cause hearing, and I don't like the way I was noticed. Now I don't, it's real easy for somebody to think that this is judicial trickery. Mm-hmm. You sent my order to notify all the creditors to my sister's house at 31 West Taylor, and you sent me notice to go to this show cause hearing that I wasn't expecting, to the 7287 West Fremont address.
Right.
That was just given to the bank without due process through the Isabella County courts.
That is, I looked into that. I was a little, when I read that, I thought, I wonder what happened. And it's let me back up just for a second. A lot of pleadings, such as what we have in a case like this, and you'll see this where it says the BNC certificate of mailing. That's an entity that does our mailing for us. I'm looking at 118 by way of example, sir.
Oh, so it's third party.
Correct.
That's convenient.
It is. Because frankly,
I don't have that service.
No, and it's very...
Okay, I get it. So they referred to the court file, which our address on file from 2010 was 7287 West Fremont.
Right. That's exactly right, sir.
All right. Well,
can I stop you for a second? I want to know, where should I send you things?
Tony knows.
Well, I don't know who Tony is.
856.
Wait a second. 856. West.
Cody.
C-O-D-Y?
Yep. Etsy.
E-S-T.
S-E-Y. Road.
Is it E-S-T? S-E-Y?
E-S-T-E-Y.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. E-T-S-E-Y. Etsy.
E-T-S-E-Y.
S-E-Y. That's in Pinconning.
Okay.
49650. I can't remember the zip.
So if we send you something there, you're going to get it.
Yes.
856 West Cody SD Road, Pinconning, Michigan. The zip is probably 49650.
I sent you a text. You got your phone? I told you my address. I texted it to you. You don't have it?
Mr. Visner, is that your right address?
856 West Cody SD Road, Pinconning, Michigan, and I'm not sure what the zip code is.
Okay. So are we all set?
I'm not trying to waste your time, but I would like to know from you, from this court, why I cannot participate with this court like a lawyer.
I'm sorry?
I know I'm not a lawyer, and I would never pretend to be a lawyer, but I want to interact with this court as if I were. I want access to electronic filing.
Are you precluded from having that access?
Yeah.
By who?
By your court clerks? People running the desk?
When you say
I can't run here every time I need to file something.
Pardon me, sir?
I can't be running here every time I need to file something. I simply can't afford the fuel. I asked your court clerks, I forget her name, the grouchy one, the one that took our filing here this last time because I wrote file on demand. She was very sweet this last time, but the time before that, she told me that I could not file electronically, and that they operate different than the federal court across the street. And
okay. You're talking about two different things. I thought you were talking about access to your file electronically versus filing things electronically. That's the difference you're talking about, it sounds like.
Yes.
Right. Because we have to have people trained in order to use the filing system.
I'm trained. I have taken the course.
By who?
The same course offered by the federal court across the street.
The federal district court system is different than the federal bankruptcy court system, sir. It really is. It's
semantics. I took the federal court filing course through the federal district court of the Eastern District of Michigan, and now I'd like to have that recognized by the federal district court, Eastern District of Michigan Bankruptcy Court.
Right.
To me, it's apples and apples.
Well, it's not. It's because.
Well, I would like to have access to the court. I would like to stop being denied equal access to this court.
Well, sir, first off, you can file any paper you want to by mail.
That brings me back to this other question. Why was a show cause hearing scheduled so rapidly without, when I filed the motion and you guys didn't like it, you sent me a letter and said, hey, you need to fix it. Right. Now when I sent you the proof of service saying I'd done all this, the court immediately scheduled a show cause hearing and then didn't notice me because of their third party BNC sending my mail to a previous address.
And that's why I wanted to fix the address issue, which we fixed today, it sounds to me.
Even though our current address was put in the caption block on the file itself. So I don't feel like I have equal access to the court. I'd like to be able to file from my desk, and I would like to know that this court is interested in providing us equal access to this court.
Well, sir, equal access for people who are not attorneys mean you file paper.
That's discrimination. Okay, if we're going to differentiate between bar cards and everybody else, that's discrimination.
Sir, if you want to go through all the training required,
I did. Do you have a different system than used across the street?
Yes, we do.
And what does it consist of?
Sir, I can't tell you all the differences.
So you don't know? Sir, it could be the same.
Sir, you want me to answer your question or you just want to ramble on for a minute?
No, I would like equal access to this court.
But I'm giving you equal access like every other individual.
No, I like everybody. like you, like any lawyer. I want that access. I don't want restrictions. I don't want any other things tied to it. It's worse than discrimination. It's favoritism. It's favoring the bar. I want equal access to this court. Is the court going to allow me equal access?
The answer is you get the same access as every other individual, sir. If you don't
No.
like that answer, that's the answer.
Are lawyers individuals?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I don't have the same access as those individuals.
They're all
Now,
licensed individuals, and you're not, sir. And there's a big difference between the two.
are you going to tell me right here that lawyers are licensed?
They are licensed by the state of Michigan.
No, they're not.
Well, what are they then?
They're bar card carrying members of a private organization. Laura doesn't regulate lawyers. Tell me where to go buy this license, and I'll just go get one.
Well, you would have to go to law school first.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, really?
Where do I go buy a license?
Can you tell me where?
You have to go to law school to get accepted to the bar because you need that indoctrination.
Right.
Tell me where to get a license.
Go to the law school.
No, I've been in law school for the last 6 years.
Sir, then you don't like the answers I'm giving you.
No, I want equal access to the courts, and you said I get it the same as all individuals, and you admitted that lawyers are individuals, and now you're telling me not those individuals.
Right, because you know what? Those individuals have certain training that you just don't.
Oh, allegiances, I think, is the word you're reaching for.
No, I don't think it is, sir. I think you're trying to put words in my mouth, and I'm not going to let you do that.
So is there a license for lawyers in the state of Michigan?
You know the answer to that question, sir. At least you think you do.
I want to hear from you.
I have a bar card.
No license. Laura does not regulate your activities.
Oh. You're telling me that?
That's what you just told me.
No, that's not what I said. Sir, I'm stopping the semantic game right now. So you can file pleadings with this court by paper like every other individual who's not an attorney. And, sir, if you want to make sure that they've been filed, you can call this court. You can also check on the docket if you have access to see what's been filed.
But I can't file electronically.
Correct. It's as simple as that, sir.
That's another issue. But all right.
Anything more, sir?
Yeah, there was.
What's that?
Like on the October 6, 2010 objection hearing, I would like a copy of the audio transcripts from these proceedings.
You may order that.
For free.
We don't do that for free, sir. There's a cost for that.
And the cost is?
I don't know. You have to check.
So I would like now for the court to explain this. If I send via certified first-class mail or just regular first-class mail notice to these other attendees.
Regular first-class mail will work, sir, with sufficient.
With a proof of service.
Pardon?
With a proof of service.
With a proof of service.
Am I asking them to answer, or am I asking them to attend a hearing?
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to have a form that says it's a notice and opportunity for hearing. And in that, you'll fill out the caption part. Also detail the motion that you want to have them respond to. And fill out the other, there are certain blanks, I can't remember the form exactly right now.
So where do I get the forms?
I think you're going to cross the hall. If
All
not,
right.
they're on the court's website.
Okay. So it's titled Notice and Opportunity for Hearing.
I believe that's the general title for it.
Okay.
Let me see. Sir, give me a second. Rather than have you guess and me do a poor job of explaining it to you, here's that motion that we talked about earlier, and it may take me a minute to get it up here. There it is right there. It's that kind of form, sir.
And this court's waived all my motion filing fees.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not that one. It's like that one, and it's...
Yeah, it can't be this one because this one's obviously tailored.
Right.
See where it says Chemical Bank? That would be your name.
Okay.
And then so on down the
Gotcha.
line.
All right.
You got that?
Can the court give me the address to view all these documents?
I'm sorry. I don't understand your question.
Is there a website? Is this part of Pacer or is it different?
I believe it. It's part of Pacer, isn't it? Yeah, it's a, I think it's on Pacer, sir.
I can give you a website.
Yeah, I would like to verify that before I leave.
It's www.m as in Mary, IEB as in boy, US courts, all one word, .gov.
That was Michael India Echo Bravo.
MIEB.
Bravo, right?
Yes.
Okay.
B as in boy.
Dot Mike India Echo Bravo. Dot uscourts.gov.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that's right, sir. We're not used to the Michael N. and Edward Bravo or whatever you just rattled off there.
Roger.
Sorry about that. This is more of just we're just humble bankruptcy people over here.
Okay. I think that's it.
Sir, just so we're clear on it, you fill out that form.
Yeah.
Send it to the creditors. We're going through this, I think. You send it to those people you think.
But I have to tell them there's a hearing.
No, see what happens here, sir.
Well, they have 14 days to respond.
Right.
So they respond via paper.
They respond by filing, yes.
Or I get a default.
Pardon me?
Or there's a default against them.
What you would need, let's slow this one down a little bit for you. You file that, I'm sorry, you get your motion, your amended motion, and you make enough copies. You do this notice and opportunity for hearing, notice for motion, okay? You put that in the envelope with all the addresses and postage and things like that. Send it. And then same time you file a certificate with us, the court, the clerk's office, saying, this is what I did. And be specific on what you did, sir, because remember how we had that little mix-up before? I thought one thing and you thought another. So be specific exactly what you put in there. And it's going to be your amended motion and the notice and opportunity for hearing.
Well,
okay?
I was in error. I apologize.
No, sir, it's communication breakdown of some sort, but it's fine. I mean, I saw your pictures, and now I understand what undoubtedly you did. So that's why I'm trying to save you, re-notice and everybody, just those people who you think.
Okay.
Okay? Now, they've got a certain time to respond. And remember, whatever you say is going to be plus 3 days. So 21 plus 3 is 24.
It'll be 14 plus 3.
It'll be 17. Now, here's where it gets a little trickier. Let's say the 17th day is on a Saturday or a Sunday or a legal holiday.
They get till Monday.
Pardon?
They get till Monday.
They get to the next day before you can file a certificate of no response.
Yeah, that happened to me in this other case. I got a default judgment against the County of Isabella for $3.9 million.
And when you do that certificate, you also need to make sure that we have an order that I can take a look at, and I sign it or I set it for a hearing.
So you'd like the orders to very accurately represent the actual motion so that you can sign what I present you.
Right,
Because I'm not a lawyer.
right, but I want to have an order that, sure, at the end of the day, you want to have an order that details what you want.
Right.
And I understand what you want. Because someday there might be an issue where you have to enforce that order. And we don't want to have a miscommunication that you wanted one thing and I thought you wanted something else. Okay?
Very good.
Typically, sir, not to make this too narrow, but at the end of the day, it involves how much money are you entitled.
I know.
So, sir, does that answer all your questions for today?
It does. Thank you for taking the extra time.
No extra time, sir. It's what we do here. So if there's nothing more, have a great weekend, and we'll close the record for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court is in recess. All rise.